Hi, welcome to the Social Good Conferences. These are conversations for social good. Today, we're going to be talking about the social good movement, and it's so important to hear different voices from around the world and their perspectives and their life experiences. When we hear about different people and what they've been through, and then the different projects that they've been a part of, we really understand what it takes to make a vision real. And I'm so excited to have a fantastic creator, phenomenal performer, somebody who's really just been in the game since childhood, age 9. And when you look at Jonathan's career as a performer and just also as somebody who is contributing back to society, it's just remarkable. So welcome everybody. Let's meet the speaker, Jonathan P. Fairchild. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. And please tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Kristen. Thank you for having me. I'm Jonathan Philip Fairchild. I grew up here in Orange County, and my mom is from here. My dad was from the Carolinas. I got into performing as a kid. My dad was an entrepreneur. My mom was a beauty queen. My mom was sober, so I got into being of service at a young age, so it was all about just being of service and really acknowledging that it takes a team to get through life. Human beings, were a tribe-based culture, and we need each other to learn, to grow, to thrive. And the better team player you are, the better life seems to be. And there's a difference between a boss and a leader. A boss will sit and watch everyone work, and a leader will be in the front reins working. So my mom was very much about that. And then my dad was more of like a boss figure, where he kind of like watched people, where he was brilliant and created things and watch people work. So I just always loved to learn and grow and be a part of things, and showed up, and this is where life brought me.
So you've got a pretty amazing career. You've been a human rights activist. You've worked with Ricky Rebel, right? You've had songs that were on the billboards, right? You've also just been this, I mean, you've just been all over the place touring, right? You even toured, with Lizzo, right? And
Yeah, before the pandemic.
yeah. So, you have a very extraordinary life, and it sounds like, there's other things beyond, just the music industry too that you're getting involved in, right? You're an investor. How cool is that? I love meeting investors. So what's your latest project about?
So right now I'm in the process of buying an Airbnb up in the mountains, and what I intend to use it for is retreats. So with this property, I want to be able to rent it out to people just, individually, but also do group, almost like exercises, retreats, go up as a group, meditate, pray, hike, set goals, set affirmations, create vision boards, you know, of all sorts of just learning and growing. And I feel like in that space, it's going to sleep 14. So it could get a nice little group of people up there, or, just individually. So right now, where I'm really focused on is doing things that just help people have better quality of life. Everyone's got something going on mentally, no matter who you are, no matter how wealthy you are, no matter what gender you are, everyone faces things, dark and light, and it's sometimes it's nice just to be able to get away for a second, and I
Yeah.
really want to focus on that, giving back and having people have a place to go relax. And also, for family time, be able to take your whole family up and spend time together.
So, Jonathan, talk to me, why do you work? It's such an important question for all of us.
I love to work. I love people. I've done a lot of performing, but I worked in service industry for almost 20 years. I'm very fortunate in the fact that I grew up around entrepreneurs who were all just being a part of humanity and learning and growing together. You fail a lot at first, and the only way you learn is to fail and see what doesn't work, and have people around you who are down for the cause. I love working in the fact that I love to go be uncomfortable and learn.
You've had a very rich life. You've encountered lots of people, lots of different scenarios. And, if asked you, could you assemble for us some lessons to share?
First off, I would always say my first thing was to treat people the way you want to be treated. You never know where people are coming from, where they're going, where they're headed. And my mom always told me, karma is right there every time, sweetheart. Now, always remember, karma comes back, especially when I was serving tables, like in the Studio City area. Like I still walk around Studio City and people will recognize me and say hi and give me a hug, all from serving them a latte. I was going through a hard time and I just was nice and sweet and open and, willing to talk about my fears about, just facing day-to-day life. Sometimes it's like it's hard to get out of bed and being authentic about that and be like, but I'm here. That simple transaction changed someone's life, as it did mine too at the same time. So I think, treating people the way you want to be treated is very important. And that goes into never judge a book by its cover because you never know who people are. Coming back to karma, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people be horrible people and then they come into another aspect of life and it affects them. That ties back into, showing up is 90% of the battle. There's been so many times in my life where things have happened just because I showed up, whether it be mental, spiritual, or physical. It's, showing up for yourself first off, show up for yourself, love yourself, be there for yourself. And within that, you are able to show up for others.
Absolutely. So those are fantastic. What would be kind of that case study that you'd want to share about your life?
We take time for granted, and I think the most important thing is to focus on today and what we can do today. Because even if you have goals from 5 years from now, you got to do the daily stuff. For me, whenever I plan anything out, I set the goal of how long it's going to take, boom, 3 years from now. And I make a timeline all the way down to today of what can I do today, because that's all I have control over, and I can't stress out about people, places, or things. All I can control is how I'm going to face it and how I'm going to handle it. The biggest downfall we can have is letting our ego and our mind rule and losing touch of our heart. It's really important to stay in touch with your heart and your soul, whatever that might be spiritually for anyone. Spirituality for me is just love. To sum up my study, I would say is, remember, first off, always be kind to yourself and love yourself. Because if you show up with kindness and compassion and love for yourself, you will bring that to the table for others.
Jonathan, if people were to engage you, right, what would be the best calls to action that they could take to, be a part of your platform or learn more about you?
My Instagram is Jonathan P. Fairchild. In 2024, I'm going to start hosting a lot of retreats. What I'm really focusing on this next chapter of my life on is bringing people together to learn and grow through love. This next chapter of my life, through my music, through my retreats, just my being, is going to be about bringing people together, finding the similarities, showing love and compassion through art, fashion, retreats, events. My goal is, mental and spiritual recovery, bringing people back to the love. I feel like our society through the pandemic now, people are very hysterical about everything. And we've forgotten how far we've come. Really, what differs us from a wild animal is that we have love and compassion, and just bringing those fundamentals back through whatever tools we have, which mine are music and art. So for me, it's definitely the human experience through love and art and retreats.
Perfect. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for being an official speaker for Social Good. I'm super excited because we continue to bring in voices like yours that are doing cool projects, lived real lives, real experiences, and you're still keeping going and, really focused on ways to help people moving forward. And so, thank you for being a part of this. This is your certificate for social good and for being an official speaker for the social good movement. And thank you again for coming on here.
Thank you. I appreciate you. This is really, you're one of the people who are making the good change, and I appreciate it. It's beautiful and rare.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thanks everybody for listening to this talk for social good. Thank you for attending the Social Good conferences. These have been Conversations for Social Good. They've been presented by Tomasito Media and Buddytown Consulting.